have elements, compound and mixture. One may ask, what is this element? We have 105 elements in chemistry. We also have compound and mixture. Now, what is element? An element is a substance that cannot split into further. Example of them, we have hydrogen. Hydrogen, we have sodium. We also have chlorine. And hydrogen, the symbol of hydrogen is H. While the symbol of sodium is Na. Why? Because it came from Latin word. And in the Latin word, they call it natarium. We have, that is Na. We have chlorine, Cl. All these elements cannot split into further. That is why we say that element is a substance that cannot split into further element or substance any longer. Now we have the hydrogen, we have sodium, we have chlorine, we have sulfur, we have argon, potassium. These are the elements. And the combination of two or more elements gives what we call compound. Now from this place, from this element, we have 105 elements, but we have 20 major elements. 20 major elements. And what are these 20 major elements? I will give you in other names so that you will understand it very well before I will now write their symbols and their name. Like sometimes, if you want to understand the 20 elements, you can simply say, he has light brain, but cannot offer full 9 subjects. Many art students prefer such combination, such as physics, chemistry. This is 20 elements. If you don't want to follow it in that pattern, though I will write it on the board. If you don't want to follow it in that pattern, you can say, hello, hi, little bearing baby could not offend Flora neither nag, Maggie, allow sleeper kissing carol. And that is 20 elements for you. So by so process, you will have the zeal to get the meaning of these 20 elements by following all those steps. Now, what are these 20 elements? If I am to go, we have number 1, he has light brain, but can not offer full 9 subjects. Many arts students prefer such combination, such as physics and chemistry. He has light brain but cannot offer full 9 subjects. Many arts students prefer such combination, such as physics, chemistry. Now, if you go with me, you'll find out that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And that is the 20 element. So if I want to translate it to the way you understand it as a 20 element, you go by He, which is he, which is hydrogen. Y has means helium. Y light means lithium. Y brain means beryllium. Y bot means boron. Carbon, carbon, not nitrogen. Offer, oxygen. Full, fluorine. 9, neon. Fluorine, neon, we have subjects, which is sodium. magnesium many. Magnesium, which means magnesium, adds aluminium, silicon, students. Then we have prefer, which is phosphorus, such, which is sulfur, combination, chlorine, as argon, Y physics means potassium, chemistry, calcium. So with this, you find out that you have stated 20 elements. So hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, calcium. That is 20 elements for you. And that is why I said that if you want to just get it at a glance, just follow. He has light brain but cannot offer full 9 subjects. Many arts students prefer such combination, such as physics, chemistry. So with that, you understand. And all these are the major 20 elements that we use in chemistry, as we have the hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium. So because of that, they have their own what we call atomic number. Atomic number. What is the atomic number? Atomic number is the number of an element according to how it is arranged in the periodic table. So we have number 1, and when you watch here, number 1 here is hydrogen. Hydrogen becomes number 1, and that one becomes the atomic number. We have helium, which is number 2. That number 2 becomes the atomic number in the periodic table. So we have all these elements. Now we have another one, compound. What is a compound? A compound is a combination of 2 or more elements which are chemically combined together. They must join together chemically. We say it's the process whereby 2 or more elements mix chemically or chemically combined together. So the way you put it, just it matters. Now when we say that is the process whereby 2 or more elements chemically combined together, we have example. If I want to say a silver plus chlorine, silver plus chlorine, and this silver is an element, chlorine is an element. We say they will chemically combine together, and the reaction between silver and chlorine is a chemical combination. Because of that, we are going to have silver chloride. 2 of them become what we call silver chloride. Now that is the chemical combination. Each one is an element. Silver is an element, chlorine is an element. When silver and chlorine combine together to become what we call silver chloride, it becomes a compound. That is what makes a compound differ from element. So a compound is when 2 or more elements chemically combine together. You have what we call compound. So example of compound that you may have, you have example silver chloride. You also have sodium chloride. You also have magnesium oxide. You also have aluminium chloride. This becomes all the examples of compound. They are chemically combined together. Now we also have the third one there, which we call a mixture. And what is a mixture? A mixture is the combination of 2 or more elements which are physically combined together. So the difference between mixture and the compound is that compound is chemically combined together, while mixture is physically combined together. Example of them, we have what we call calcium trioxocarbonate 4. Calcium trioxocarbonate 4. Calcium trioxocarbonate 4. Ca is a calcium. We have we have 3 oxygen. Calcium trioxocarbonate 4. But you may ask me a question. What is this calcium trioxocarbonate 4? Calcium trioxocarbonate 4 is just like a limestone, or which is the cement that we are using at home. Calcium trioxocarbonate. So, because of that, but you may ask, why do we call it carbonate 4? Where we are seeing 3 there. Now, I want you to understand that we have what we call oxidation number and the valence number. What is this oxidation number? Like we have calcium. The oxidation number of calcium will give me +2. The oxidation number of oxygen is -2. Oxidation number of chlorine is -1. Oxidation number of silver is +1. And so many of them. Now, with that, the oxidation number of calcium is 2. You write 2 plus, what are you seeing there? Carbon. And the carbon has no oxidation number in this state. Now, because of that, you are going to say 2 plus C. Why oxygen has oxidation number of -2? I'm going to have plus -2. And this -2, it has a subscript here, which is 3. And this 3 is only affecting oxygen. It will not affect carbon. Because of that, the -2, which is the oxidation number of oxygen, will affect this 3. And that is to say, -2 times 3, which will give us equal to 6. Therefore, -2 times 3. But before, you have to equate all this to 0, or equal to 0. Therefore, I'm going to have all these ones now equal to 0. 2 plus C. Now, in another aspect, I know by now that you have understand the rules in mathematics. Plus, minus. Minus times plus. Plus times minus. In that case, for having that knowledge, you will believe with me that plus minus is going to be what? Minus. We are going to put minus here. 2 times 3 is 6. That is to say -6 equal to 0. Now I'm going to have C minus 6 equal to 0. Now these two will cross equal sign. If 2 is crossing equal sign, because 2 carries an invisible positive sign here, if it crosses equal sign, it will change to minus. Because of that, I'm going to have -2 here. Now I'm going to have C minus 6 equal to 0 minus 2 will give me -2. Because of that, I'm going to have -2. Then, for me to get this C, I'm going to have C is equal to -2. If this one crosses equal sign, the -6 here crosses equal sign, it will change to plus. I'm going to have +6. And the answer is, now, I want to ask you a question. Supposing that you are owing somebody 2 naira, and inside your pocket you have 6 naira, and when the person arrested you along the way, if you pay with that 6 naira inside your pocket, if you pay 2 naira, how much is remaining? 4 naira. Thank you. Now, because of that, -2 plus 6 is going to give me 4. And that is why we said calcium trioxocarbonate 4. So because of that, now understand that what brought me to this area is because of the compound I'm talking about. You know, we said that compound is when the 2 or more elements are chemically combined together. But in this place now, we call it a mixture. We call it a mixture because a mixture is physically combined, when 2 or more elements are physically combined. Now with this, you find out that there are 3 elements in this place now, calcium trioxocarbonate 4. We have the calcium 1, we have the carbon 2, we have the oxygen. And this carbon, calcium and oxygen can be separated in physical means. You can separate them. That is what makes them a mixture. It's just like when you come, unlike when you say silver chloride. Silver chloride, that is silver and chlorine, in which is compound, are chemically bounded together or combined together, and they are inseparable. in a chemical means, or sorry, physical means. So because of that, this one that you can separate in a physical means is become a mixture. So calcium, carbon, and oxygen. We have another example of a mixture, that is air. Air is another example of a mixture. Air is another example of a mixture. And what is this? Why do we call it a mixture? Because in air, you will see, number one, oxygen in a mixture. We also have nitrogen in air. You also have oxygen, nitrogen. You have rare gases. You have what we call atmospheric gases too. Then you have what we call noble gases. So oxygen is 21% in air. 21% in air. While nitrogen is equal to 78%. We also have carbon 4 oxide. We have carbon 4 oxide, which is 0.04% in air. So all of them, if you use what we call fractional column, you can separate oxygen different, you can separate nitrogen different, you can separate carbon 4 different. You can also separate the noble gases or rare gases different using what we call fractional column. And this is a physical means. And that's why they said mixture is when two or more elements are physically combined together and they can be separated by physical means. That is a mixture for you. And I have given you example of mixture. Other mixtures you can see is palm wine. Palm wine, we have also palm wine as we have air. We have calcium triisocarbonate, air, palm wine. You also have urea. Urea is different from urine or urine as you may call it. So when you talk about urea is made up with a different component like mineral salts, water, sugar, and other ones. So that makes it, and all of them are physically bound together. And because they are physically bound together, they can be separated by physical means. So that makes it a mixture. All those one element that combine together in a physical means, and you can separate them by physical process. Now we also have another example of a mixture. You talk about soil. You talk about soil. In a soil, we have clay soil, we have sandy soil, we have humus, we have organic matters. All these come together to form what we call mixture, and that is soil. And all of them can be separated. Now, if I may ask, have you not seen sandy soil for the first time? Or have you not seen clay soil and loamy soil? So now with that, you have seen, because of that, all of them can be separated. It can be together to become soil. But when you separate them, you see a sandy soil, you see a loamy soil, you see a clay soil, you also see organic matter and mineral materials that are involved. All of them come together to form what we call a soil. So that is to say that soil is also one of organic mixture. It's also one of what? Mixture. Now another thing that you have to understand here is that sometimes they will put a question like this: classify each of the following into element, compound, and mixture. Classify each of the following into element, compound, and mixture. And they will put something like this. Example, bronze. You have bronze, you have urine, you have neon, you have water, you have limestone, you have palm wine, you also have argon. For example, you can see a question like this: classify all these or each of them into element, compound, and mixture. Now it left for you to go straight and get your table. You have to form your table. And how do you form your table? Form your table in this way: element, compound, and mixture. Now, as a question may come in this way, whereby they will give you all these substances and they will ask you to classify them into elements, compound, or mixture. That is to say, you should be able to know all these substances you are seeing here, do they belong to element, or is it in a compound or in a mixture? Now, number one thing you are seeing there is bronze. Now, it's left for you to ask a question. Is bronze made up chemically combined element? The answer is yes. And because of that, because of the two substances that have made them, it cannot be separated. And because of that, it becomes what we call compound. So bronze will be in a compound. Now we have another one there. The second one, urine. Urine are made up of two or more substances. Now the question is, can you separate urine into different components? The answer is no. So because of that, they are chemically combined together. And because of that, they become compound, urine. Now we have another one there. Another one there, number 3, is what we call neon. And what is this neon? When you watch neon according to our 20 elements, it falls number 10. And that element it is, or that number 10 it falls, make it to be an element. And the element is something that you cannot split into further. Because of that, it becomes element or belong to element. Now we have another one again, water. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Now the question is, can you separate water, hydrogen from oxygen? The answer is yes. Because of that, now you place it into a compound. So we have water into compound because it's made up of two or more elements. That is hydrogen and oxygen, which are chemically combined. So because of that, we have another one, limestone. And limestone is also known as calcium triisocarbonate, which I have said before. And calcium triisocarbonate can be separated by physical means, as I said. And since they are combined physically and can be separated by physical means, it belongs to a mixture, which is limestone belong to a mixture. Now we have another one, palm wine. Palm wine is made up of sugar, it is made up of water, it is made up of vitamins and other ones. Now the question is, can palm wine be separated into different components? Yes, using what we call fractional column, which I said before. Now because of that, they are physically combined together and can be separated by physical means. Because of that, palm wine belongs to a mixture. Now we have another one there, argon. The question is, argon, is it an element or a compound or mixture? Now the answer is element. Why? Because argon is an element. It cannot be split into further. And that is number 18 in our 20 elements. Number 18, argon. So because of that, it cannot split into further. So with this, you have classified all this into element, compound, and mixture. You can see it. Under element, you have neon and argon. Under compound, you have bronze, urine, and water. Under mixture, you have limestone and palm wine. This makes this particular thing fall into different element, compound, and mixture. So that is where we can end this class for today. So if you have questions, you can ask me. So with this, we call it off a day.